Hi, everybody. My name is Tammy Lofink. This was my son, Rob Lofink. He died when he was 18 years old from a heroin overdose. Can you hear me better now? Okay. This was my son, Robert. He actually went to Sykesville Middle. I know a lot of you guys are from Sykesville Middle. He died from a heroin overdose when he was 18 years old. I'm just going to share a little bit of my story and his story, and then at the end, I have a few t-shirts to give away and also this chocolate Easter bunny. So we're going to ask you a few questions, and if you answer correctly, you can win the bunny or the shirt. So I'm going to read to you what I wrote, and then we'll do that. My name is Tammy Lofink. I am a mother who lost my child to drugs. My son Robert was just 18 years old when he died at home in his bed from a drug overdose. Robert was a great kid. He was smart, kind, caring, well-liked, and even had a great girlfriend. However, Rob didn't fit into the mold of the public school system expectations. He had ADHD, so it was difficult for him to sit still, focus, and complete school assignments. He loved to be the funny guy, and even the teachers loved his sense of humor. The problem was that people, like his parents, us, and teachers, thought that he was lazy or didn't want to do the work it took to succeed in school. This caused a lot of negative interaction at home and at school. Eventually, I think Robert got frustrated and discouraged from even trying. Looking back, I wish I would have better understood the toll that not fitting into the box took and still takes on our youth and young adults. I'm not sure of the exact reason Robert started experimenting with drugs. My guess is that drugs helped to calm his never-ending energy and his racing mind. Also, Robert liked to have a good time. He didn't always have limits. I always said that Rob was of the mindset that if a little's good, a lot's got to be better. And he certainly didn't understand the dangers of drugs. Robert started off with normal experimentation. He started drinking, which led to marijuana, which eventually led to trying more dangerous drugs. A lot of kids don't understand that if they have the genetic propensity for addiction, alcohol and marijuana are the gateway drug. No one usually starts off using pills. As Robert's mother, I tried desperately to stay ahead of his drug use. When I realized he was smoking pot, I took him to counseling, reached out for help, and even drug tested him on a regular basis. I thought that if I was diligent, I could stop him from using drugs. What I didn't realize at the time, and that I know now, is that drugs had taken over and were more powerful than any love, support, and guidance I could have ever given to Robert. So let me tell you about the worst day of my life. It was a beautiful day on September 14th, 2014. It was a Sunday. I got up early and started my day. Robert was sleeping, or so I thought. I went for a run and got things done around the house. I was making lunch with my daughter when Rob's girlfriend, Megan, came over. She was there to wake Rob up and spend the day with him. Megan, my daughter, and I talked for a few minutes in the kitchen, and then Megan left to go upstairs to wake Robert up. That is the moment when my life changed forever. All of a sudden, I heard a blood-curdling scream coming from Megan. I knew there was something terrible happening upstairs. My daughter ran up there, and then I heard her screaming too. I remember being afraid to go up there to see what had happened. I ran up the steps and over to Rob's bedroom door. He was laying on the bed in the fetal position facing the window. I knew in that moment that my son was gone. Leah and Megan were still screaming, and I was screaming too. All I could think was, get me out of the house. I couldn't help my daughter or Megan. All I could do was get out. I couldn't see my baby dead. At the same time this was going on, Robert's father heard the screaming and came running into Robert's room. By this time, I had run downstairs to get the phone to call 911. Robert's dad ran in, pulled Rob off the bed, and started giving him CPR. There was blood and there was vomit everywhere. No parent should ever have to see or experience this kind of horror. He continued to give Robert CPR until the paramedics got there so that they could take over and try to save him. It was too late. Robert's life was taken at 18 years old, right after he graduated from high school from drugs. Robert will never go to college, he will never get married, have children, and he will never get the opportunity to grow to be an old man. I have made it my life's mission to help families and people struggling with addiction. I don't ever want any family to have to go through what I've been through. I don't want young adults in the prime of their lives to lose their lives to drugs. On the year anniversary of Robert's death, I started Rising Above Addiction. It is a nonprofit that raises money to help youth and young adults who are struggling with addiction. Rising Above Addiction also helps families navigate through the process of helping their loved ones to get into treatment. I also do various fundraisers throughout the community. In June of 2017, I opened a girls' sober home. It is named after Robert using his initials. The house is called Reclaiming My Life. This is a place for girls to come to live in the safety of a structured environment while they are on their journey to a road of recovery. I know a lot of you think this could never happen to me. All I can tell you is that Robert thought and said the same thing. He was just like all of you, and I can tell you that he did not want to die. I can also tell you as a parent, this will hurt me for the rest of my life. I carry around an empty hole in my heart because I lost a part of myself. So what do I hope you get out of this today? I hope that it will make you stop and think before you decide to put a substance into your body. I hope it will make you go home tonight and look at your family and see how much they love you and how lost they would be without you. I hope that you will remember my son's face and his story, and that it helps you when you are making hard decisions. I hope that you will speak up if you know somebody is using drugs. I hope that I helped to save at least one person today. And most of all, I hope that you all stay safe, don't ever start using drugs, and make good decisions that bring great outcomes. Go get Amy. So now we're going to ask a couple of questions. I'm waiting for Amy from the health department to come over. I can go ahead and ask the first one. This one's going to go out to a girl. So if you're a girl and you know the answer to this question, raise your hand. So what is the chemical in marijuana that changes and affects the brain? I can't hear you. I think you were right. Very good. Oh, do you want to come up and get the... Amy. So this is a medium. If it's too big or too small, I can get you another. I have small, medium, large. So
that's fine.
Can you just stay up for 1 minute so she can answer if she wants to say anything?
It was THC, right?
Yeah. So Amy, she answered the first question right for THC. I don't know if you want to say anything about that. She answered it right.
And what's your name?
Jane Brewer.
Jane Brewer.
Yeah.
You knew the THC chemical? Okay, guys, how are you doing? How is everyone? Hi. So Jane got the question correct. So guys, even though marijuana is a plant, it is still a chemical that's changing our brain. Very good job, Jane. All right, guys, are you ready for another trivia question? All right, here we go. Okay, think carefully about this, okay? Think carefully. All right, guys, so once alcohol is in the bloodstream, what is the only thing that can eliminate it? Did you say time? Yes, you're correct. Yeah.
It's a guy's shirt.
Okay, gotcha. Got it, got it. What's your name? Ashley. Guys, Ashlyn got that correct. Once alcohol's in our bloodstream, only time can eliminate it. Very good, Ashlyn. Great job. Wow, here they wrote some tough questions for you guys. All right. You ready for your another question? Okay. Think carefully about this one. Guys, how do prescription opioids, first of all, who can give me an example of a prescription opioid? Oxycontin, good. Guys, how do prescription opioids like Oxycontin and heroin work differently in the brain? I can't hear you. I don't know if it's right yet, guys.
He said it affects the dopamine receptors in the brain.
What's your name? Connor. Okay, guys, Connor, this was actually kind of a trick question, so thank you for answering this. So basically, guys, prescription opioids and heroin, they really work the same way on the brain. They attach to the same opioid receptors, and they both stimulate the release of dopamine. So Connor's going to get a prize because he helped us explain that really important fact. Very good. All right, guys, last question. Are you ready? All right, guys, it's a true or false, okay? And I expect every single student in here to get this correct, okay? True or false? Addiction is a disease. True, correct. The answer is true. Addiction is a disease. Very good.
Roofie.
Rufy did a great job, guys. You got our last answer correct. And you got a very large bunny.